Hello, everyone. I am Carrie, your empowering educator, and today is May 1st, which means it is the start of a new month. And if in the practice of following the Celtic calendar, this is technically the first day of summer. I am located in Sacramento, California, which is traditional unceded territory of the
And
Nisenan. Today is May, and I live in a place where when it's below like 70 degrees or 60 degrees, people think it is winter. So while it has felt very much like summer the last couple of days, it is currently about 53 and is feeling wintry. So I felt pulled, called, excited to come on today, talk a little bit about what this new season of the Wheel of the Year can bring to us and how we could maybe use this Creator of Bells as an anchor card for Beltane. So I am a tarot comedian, which means oftentimes I like to weave in some humor along with the spirituality and wisdom of the cards, because I do think that the wellness witchy world is too fucking serious. Right now, nothing quippy is coming to mind, but just you wait. It'll get here eventually. I am a baby witch in terms of celebrating the cross quarters of the year, but what I have understood about Beltane is that it is a time to sort of welcome in the heat of the summer, the fire in one's heart. And whenever I think of the fire in your heart, I think of heartfulness, which is just that sense that you get when you're like full of ooey gooey goodness. So this could come from hugging a beloved pet, or a child, or a family member, or friend, or a romantic partner that just fills you with that warmth in your chest. And while we can never make anything happen, it's nice to envision what it would be like or could be like if we centered experiences where that hurtfulness was able to be felt. And as I was contemplating this, I was shuffling the Numinous deck, which you can see on my screen, and the Creator of Bells popped out. So this is this deck's version of the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is one who is a truth bringer, one who nurtures through words. So if your love language is words of affirmation, this could be where you get that ooey gooey lovey feeling. And I like how in the Creator of Bells here, you have this figure who has these bells sort of off in the distance, along with a couple feathers coming out of, it looks like kind of a flame on the back of their head, and then this swan or egret in the background. And you also do see some water there. And then this figure looks like they have maybe some tattoos of like a red vine around them. And all of that shows me that this person is one who is very in tune with nature. And this is a person who has boundaries around not spending time in nature, if that makes sense. So much of our lives is spent in front of a tiny screen, like you and I are experiencing in this moment. And oftentimes we forget to heed the call of nature, which is a place where we can feel that replenishment of the heartfulness. So it feels like this is a card to encourage us to pause with the silence in our own hearts and maybe listen for those sounds of nature that fill us up. So if we take a moment to maybe close down the eyes, and you can envision a natural place that you've been or want to go or just exists in your mind's eye. Notice what the air feels like on your skin, the temperature, whether you're in the shade or the sun. Can you hear the rustling of leaves, the lapping of water, the call of birds, the flap of birds' wings? Can you hear your own breath coming in and leaving your system? Can you feel the earth beneath you, or maybe something cushy and cozy that is cradling you? And even if none of this appears in your mind's eye, I invite you to just notice where you are currently in the real world. And think about the relationship your body has with support underneath you. It's under your feet, under your tush, behind your back. Are your arms resting on your body or on the ground or chair? And notice that you are being held up right now by the earth, and that you are held in place by gravity. And that may be the most consistently secure attachment that we have in our lives. So maybe there's a sense of heartfulness coming in right now, and the fact that you are in every moment held. You can keep your eyes closed if that feels good to you. I'm going to blink mine open. Because as I was thinking about this place, for me, it is a real place that I'm going to be going to this weekend that I have the privilege of enjoying. And I just got a card fly out of the deck as I was shuffling it, which is the Lovers Reversed. And the depiction in this deck is of a whole bunch of figures laying down on the earth, surrounded by flowers, with this multicolored geometric design sort of connecting all of them. And I like to think about the power of the mind. If we are looking at the creator of bells, this is the realm of thoughts, of mental processes, of communication. And sometimes the best communication is presence, is silence. And with these lovers figures sort of all laying with their crowns towards the center, there's an unspoken connection that they're forming this circle, this space where everything that exists within themselves is pointing and in community with everything else that is around them. And this feels like a really nice nudge towards community, particularly like-minded community. So I know that today I'm going to be getting together with some friends in a park and connecting over this celebration of Beltane, of welcoming in the summer season. And when I think about a connection among like-minded souls, this is the vision that I get of people just laying in ease, in comfort, surrounded by beauty, and knowing that they can be silent, they can be meditative, they can be communicative, they can hold each other's hands, they can close each other's eyes. I don't know, I wouldn't close someone else's eyes, but you know what I mean. And really just kind of revel in that moment. The reversal in this case doesn't feel super significant to me because this card is kind of in a circle anyway. So whether or not you are a tarot practitioner or you're just watching this for the hell of it, some people like to read the reversals as different meanings as the upright meanings. And I don't see that in this card. This card feels it feels like it represents like equity and equality in the best way, which is that you can look at this from any direction and it's still going to be fulfilling. There's no hierarchy. There's no one person who has to be at the center or the top. Everyone is equally involved. And I know that that is particularly a theme about the gathering that I am going to later today. In fact, I have a whole podcast episode about this idea, which I will put below after this. So I'd love to just close this out in thinking about May Day, Beltane, welcoming in the heartfulness of summer, and thinking about how we can be really clear in our communication around what we want to create for ourselves in terms of our thoughts, how we can communicate that out into the world, and how we can be in community with like-minded souls where we get to just be together, which feels really nice. And the card that came out as sort of an answer to that question was the Three of Tomes. And the tomes in this deck represent pentacles or discs or the suit of earth. And I love the depiction of this card. You see a figure in front of a huge book, and they're looking at an entry for rosemary, which is a very magical bush. It is fragrant. It is flavorful. It represents memory and is really hardy and protective. And then you can see in the background, there's something else that says herbal something and anatomy. And outside the window looks like it's kind of a rainy day. So I think this is a really good reminder that as we are moving forward on this path of heartfulness, it's really necessary to tap into one's innate gifts and knowing, inner knowing, to know that not everything has to happen right now. When I think of a rainy day, I think about sort of being inside, things being on hold, and kind of like cozying up with yourself. And so this feels like a really nice reminder that even though the outside is beckoning, and I know I kind of like talked about that at the beginning, like, hey, we sit in front of our computers all the time, so get the fuck outside. This is also a reminder that like lots can happen when we are silent with ourselves, when we give ourselves the time and space to learn, to connect with past versions of ourselves, with what we want our future self to feel. And this often also to me is a card of beginner's mind, which is the invitation to see each new moment as a gift, to view it as if you're seeing it for the first time. So if you want to consider yourself a nice alien who is coming to the world for the first time and you get this gorgeous book of rosemary, maybe you don't understand the pictures, maybe you don't understand the words, but you can tell that this is something that is special. It has been curated. It is, just a chance to kind of connect with someone else's knowing that then you get to integrate. So with all of this together on this May Day, my wish for anyone who watches this is to feel a measure of clarity moving forward. I didn't say certainty because how can we ever be certain of anything? But if there is a sense of heartfulness, of clear communication boundaries, of knowledge, of being with your inner wise knowing, then that helps bring clarity towards what you want for yourself and what you can create for yourself in this next iteration of the wheel of the year. So again, my name is Carrie. I am your empowering educator. And if you're watching this and if something lands with you, this could be in a day, 4 months, or 12 years, maybe type in egret below and let me know what landed with you. And I will be forever grateful to have connected with you in this virtual space and known that these words made it to someone. And I'm not just speaking into the void, but even if I am, hey, void, you need some.